Listen, you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of your favorite podcast entitled We Hate You Internet! And we are back once again in this thing. I know you felt the passion, you know what I'm saying? When I hit it, we hate your internet. Sometimes it be a little, I do that little raspy thing, like, we hate you, you know what I'm saying? But this time I gave it to you for real. This is We Hate Your Internet. It's a podcast designed to bring awareness to some of the negative effects or the problematic effects of the internet on our lives, as well as celebrate the beautiful simplicity of our humanity. I'm your host, Wilford Hamilton. Sitting alongside me, okay, she's pink, blue, pink. You know what I'm saying? She coming in rocking chucks, low top. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the cool kids do it. And you know she representing the brand.
Yes, sir.
With the custom made We Hate You Internet t-shirt. Her name is
Clara Aguirre.
Clara Aguirre is in the building. All right. And so listen, for today, we're talking about some pretty cool, interesting stuff. Before we get into all of that, we just want to say thank you, like we always do. Start off saying thank you for all those who've shown support. We want to encourage those of you that are watching to go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. We're in the midst of the 1,000 subscriber challenge. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. People have been coming in droves. Our numbers are going up. We gratefully appreciate all of our new subscribers. Stay locked in. You know, I mean, we got a lot of short information. All the shorts, people are really kind of responding to those things. The full episodes are coming in hot. You know what I mean? I forgot to mention last week that we were going to start uploading twice a week. So that's Monday and Thursdays. We have uploads, or we're uploading. And so keep your eyes open for that. Like I said, 2024 is going to be a big year. Yeah, we doing that. So if you're listening on the audio side, make sure you rate and review the show. We've even had a couple people have heeded the call and have had a couple extra reviews and or ratings. Hit that 5-star like you're supposed to. Good job. We want to continue to encourage everybody to do that. So for today, we want to talk about chasing trends, right? With the way that social media is set up, how fast our world is set up, right? Trends and gossip and news, it comes in and it's out. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not constantly glued to your screens, you'll miss something. You know what I mean? And I got to thinking about it because they were talking about the little chick that does she has like a podcast. She interviews different people. She's kind of dry.
Oh, I know who. You said dry, and I already know who.
Okay, well, anyway, you want to talk about it, niggas.
Did she interview Drake?
She did interview Drake.
Yeah.
There was some.
Yeah. Inside the bed, right? Like they were doing the interview.
I didn't see it, but I heard about some things that were exposed, and
oh.
Yeah, and so like I was like, yikes.
Yeah. I
and I'm like, what in the world is going on out in the streets? And then I found out, you know, what was actually being discussed, and I was like, no, thank you.
Oh my.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That ended my curiosity. But it really got me thinking, right? Like how fast like things come and go. You know what I mean? The Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef.
Yeah.
Keke Palmer and Usher and her boyfriend and all that kind of mess. You know what I'm saying? The submarine thing. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that a couple episodes. So like it's there for a couple of days and then boom, it's gone and something else comes in. And I thought about like how hard it is to try to like keep up with all of this stuff. You know what I mean? And then just all the different challenges and all the stuff that's just constant, like TikTok is
fashion.
Yes,
like that's number
man.
one too, I think.
Yes, and so like I was like, man, you know, you think about like how difficult it is on the mental capacity to try to keep up and try to stay in touch with all of this stuff, and that's what got me thinking about like the pitfalls that come from chasing all these trends. And you know, and the gossip, you know, and staying on the gossip wheel.
Yeah.
And so I looked at the word trend, right? And it just basically talks about the direction in which something is moving or developing, changing. You know what I mean? And when I looked at it, I was like, interesting, because you think about the word develop and the word change. They both have to do with the passing of time. You know what I mean? And so you think about things that are trending, and it's directly related to time and how much time it takes, or how much of your time that it takes. You know what I mean? It used to be where a person could have used to have certain haircuts and different styles, and they would last for a year, maybe two. You know what I mean? So you can get in and you can kind of get acclimated with the style, and you
kind of become a little bit of your personality.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you feel included, but because of, like I said, how fast stuff is moving now, everything's is in one day and out the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you don't even get a chance to really get a feel for what this thing is before it's already gone, and it's something else you got to try to you go on trying to search for the next thing. You know what I mean? And so I want you to kind of explore today just about how these things can affect you, as you talk about, in negative ways. I'm gonna start off by saying that I'm gonna conclude with the same point, but it's not to say that, oh man, you shouldn't be on the internet looking at the news or whatever, what's going on. It's not the case. You're free to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? It's entertainment for whatever, in whatever state that it's in. But we just want to explore, like we always do in everything that we do, that you make sure that you're mindful about what you're doing, and to be sure that you aren't damaging yourself or hurting yourself or shortchanging yourself as you interact with all these things that the internet has to provide. What you want to put some on top of that, lady?
Yeah, no, I think that's what makes it so exhausting. I think that's what makes trends so tiring, is because the amount of attention you need to be putting on for the trend. You know, that's trends demand your attention. Yeah. I like the definition. I think it's pretty accurate in a way. It is things that are constantly changing, but in terms of developing, I don't know, because I feel like when something develops, it's getting better. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case with a trend.
That's interesting.
Because of the fact that, 1 minute, a certain haircut is cool, and then it's not. Yeah. The types of shoes you're wearing. Oh, you got Yeezys, you're in it, but then you're not, Yeah. And it's, I think that's exhausting. Yeah. To be honest with you, it's costly, it's exhausting, and then in a way, it's like a double-edged sword too, because if you're not a part of it, you are kind of excluded from what seems to be society. You know what I mean? If you aren't with the latest gossip or with the latest trends, you're a little bit of an outsider, or at least you feel that way. Yeah. And that's one thing with trends. I think that maybe that's why some people kind of they get in a way addicted to trends,
the scourge of life. Listen, you jumping ahead in our discussion. You're putting out all of our points. But now we're going to elaborate. So you made a very powerful statement. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, just about as we were going about our pregame, and you talked about how the ultimate goal of the trend, and we talking about just social media, right? You see what's trending. The ultimate goal is to gain attention. Yeah. And for a person that wants to be an influencer, or you talk about the Kardashians or some of these celebrities, they do the things they do intentionally because they're trying to grab attention. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's a really interesting thing when you really kind of sit back and think about that. We talked about how social media is manufactured, curated. You know what I mean? And it's done with the intent to grab your attention, to take your attention off of anything else that's going on and place it on your screen. You know what I mean? And so moving on to the discussion, the perfect segue, we talk about why this is problematic. You know what I mean? I really want to kind of be structured so that people can really understand when you move forward in your life and you have this technology in your hand, and it's going to become even more immersive. You know what I mean? With these visors, Apple got the
metaverse.
All this kind of stuff. you really need to be aware of like what this is actually costing you. You know what I mean? Twitter is free. Instagram is free. But please understand that like the time that you give to these apps, it is costing you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Wow, that is.
And so,
wow.
what does it cost you? What is it costing, Wilfred? Break it out for help us understand. You know what I mean? Like I started off, talking about the time and energy that is wasted with chasing after all this information. You know what I mean? I'm at work and I hear people talking about all the like latest stuff that's going on. It's different little celebrities,
like petty news in a way. You know what I mean?
Well, you're talking about gossip at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you think about, you have to go on the screen, look at it, then like you go and like go to this post and then this post and then this page and read about it. And it's crazy because a lot of people talk about they don't like to read. They do a whole lot of reading when it comes to some mess.
That's hilarious.
All kind of research, you know what I'm saying? You got all kind of tabs open.
Details.
Yeah, all these tabs open, you know what I'm saying? You in this room, in that room, in the shade room, and everything.
That is so
you know
funny.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing all this extensive research about what? You know what I mean? Like, but when you really think about like, what value does this actually have? You know what I mean? You can read a book and like, oh man, reading, it's funny. People like, I used to be one of those people.
Hey, look, first step is admitting it.
Thank you, Claire. but like I didn't do a lot of reading, you know what I mean? I did a lot of thinking, but I knew a lot of reading. And since I've picked up a book or two.
Yeah.
But
reading is a powerful thing.
It really is.
Very powerful. And if what you're reading, that's another kind of.
Well, I mean, it's related because what you read is equally powerful. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like it will affect you. You know what I mean? Like wow, this is not our topic.
I know. We'll reel it back. Let's reel it back.
Yeah, really. If those have been listening for a while, sometimes every once in a while we get caught on one of those old dirt roads.
We're working on it. We're only getting better.
Off the main road, we get all kicking up that red dust out there.
We're going back.
Indeed. You got to back up all the way because you can't know Uis. You got to back all the way up till you get to the main. But anyway, and there we go. We've lost ourselves. Anyway, like, what is this adding to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keeping up with this person's mess and that person's mess and all these challenges and, like, what is it actually adding to you? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's taking your time. It's taking your energy.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell people all the time, when you're on TikTok, you're swiping, your brain is working. Like, it's processing every color, every image, all the movement, all the words that are being said, the eye movement, the suggestions that are being made with the eyes, it's processing all of this stuff. In each image that you swipe, you lock in, your brain is like, you know what I mean? Like, you talking about supercomputers, our brains are powerful.
We are supercomputers.
Yeah, man, really. And so like, and a lot of this stuff is autopilot. You're not even thinking about, like, you're not actually trying to do all this stuff. Your brain has been trained already to just process all this information, all these colors, all this, the words, like all this stuff. Like, and so like, and as your brain is working, it's burning energy. It's using energy. So that's the reason why you feel tired when you get off. You've been locked in for so long.
For hours.
Yeah, man. Then you feel like drained afterwards. Like when just processing what the story. Okay, this person said this to this person, and that person said that, and then this happened. Oh, but it didn't start here. It started when this person was on this show, and they said this. Like, you thinking, that takes energy. You know what I'm saying? And then you go and talk to other people about it. That takes energy. You see what I'm saying? You reading the comment section and processing what people are saying and their thoughts. That takes energy. You know what I mean? Like, and so you say, well, oh man, what are you talking about? Like, all that energy that you're putting toward this vanity, if we're just keeping it real, like, it's energy that you cannot use in other areas of your life that could be beneficial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, this is not to try to be like somebody old uncle or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Can't see this gray in my chin. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like tell people to be their dad and all, like, you gonna be on the internet. Like, dude, I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, all this stuff takes energy. You have a finite amount of energy. Everybody does. And like you're using it to process vanity, something that's not going to help you or aid you in any way in your
It's
life.
literally like useless information
It
sometimes.
literally
Completely
is useless information. Now, you know what I'm saying? And if you just really think about that, how much of that energy that you could be using toward actually developing yourself? You know what I mean? How much of that energy that you can actually be using to actually like become healthier in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole nother ballgame. You talking about the quality of this information that you're absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can change your disposition, change your thought process and mentality about
Your
all
mood.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
Listen, lady, you got something you want to add on that before?
No, keep going. Keep going.
Oh wow, okay, I gotta give you the stage. Right?
I like it. I like it.
Well, don't mind if I do.
I'm in awe.
Don't mind if I do. You know what I'm saying? So you think about that, like how all these things affect you, and if you really slow down, and people that's listening, right? If you really just slow down and think, just recall, like you read some mess, or you're involved in some trend, and you're trying to like, oh, this is the trend, and you have to go look at, okay, this is the TikTok challenge. So I'm gonna figure out like how I'm gonna post it, you know, because you got to try to figure out like, you know, logistically what you're gonna do, how you gonna set your camera, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna try to get likes and all this kind of stuff. And if you put a great video together, right? It was a great video, awesome. I'm so proud. It was a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? 2 days from now, it's gonna be gone, and that video is gonna be worthless. And if you think about like how it makes a person feel, like that you spent the time and energy and you invested it into this, and this is one simple example, like a TikTok challenge. You know what I'm saying? But it could be in so many other things. Like you spend so much time and energy digging for all this information and acquiring all this knowledge about, you know, this topic.
Yeah.
And then 2 days from now, that information is worthless. It's like no one cares about that anymore. It's gone. And that's 2 days you could have used to like figure out, learn how to like better process, like we talked about last week, better process your trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about like why you're related. Why do I keep finding myself in the same position over and over and over again? Why is it that me and my family are always broke? You know what I'm saying? Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like why is it that, you know, the family dog like my brother better than me? I don't know. You want to think about that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, because you're an honorary person. You know, the dog like, man, I don't like hanging with him. He's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Be tripping all the time. We can't go out and walk. We can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Stuck in the house because this cat always sad and depressed all the time.
Yeah.
Not to make light of it, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like that you could be using that time, that energy
For something better.
for something that's gonna be worth more to you.
Yeah.
That'll have more value to you. Yo, you may like to listen to the stories on the internet and like, you know, be in the know. That's cool. But like, how much of your energy are you going to devote to that? And then how much of that information actually going to be beneficial to you? That's the point that I'm making. You know, and you just got to be honest with yourself about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wasting your time. Now, moving on to the next point, right? And you mentioned it earlier. I feel so bad right now because because I'm running late.
No,
you look at me
you're
in my
good.
face, and you ain't saying nothing. You're my clothes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess this is my time to shine. I guess.
It's your time to shine.
Hey. And so you think about like the pressure that comes from staying in the know.
Yep.
And it's a crazy, sad thing that it can even cause a person to feel insecure because, like we talk about all the time, human beings are social creatures, right? I make that point all the time. And because it's so important to understand the reason why, like, you may have some of the difficulties in your life because you don't understand that fact. You think that, oh, people have hurt me and made me sad, so I don't want to deal with people. And then you start wondering why, like, you can't never be happy and you always struggling, like, you know what I mean? And you put up this front because you ain't meant to be alone like that. It's okay for people to be alone from time to time, get themselves together, go off, whatever. But you ain't meant to be alone, solitary like that. Human beings are designed that way. You just got to accept it. Anyway, being outside the trend, outside of the guys, outside of the news cycle, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel left out. You feel like you're not cool. You're not in. You're not hip. You don't know what's going on. And in its own way, you start to feel isolated. And it can start causing a person to feel insecure. which when you really think about that, is very crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Well, but it's not really that crazy because, like you mentioned earlier, you didn't build anything worth building. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense.
elaborate, please.
So, okay, as you were speaking on this, it made me think of J. Cole.
Okay.
J. Cole said this when he was talking to, who was he talking about? I think, was it J. Cole and XXX Tentacion? It was another rapper.
That accent on there, I heard that.
I
I just want to acknowledge that.
don't know if it was him or Lil Pump, but he
Oh
said
my
something.
gosh.
It was one of those. But hey, where's he at right now?
Which one are we talking about?
Lil Pump. No, not that. R.I.P.
I was like,
R.I.P.
yeah, really? You know,
Yeah, no.
I'm like, dang, man, go hard. Yeah. Where is he at now, huh?
Not him. No. Rest in peace. But Lil Pump, like
I have no idea where he is.
J. Cole said that, you know, he put it in a song that there's, paraphrasing, that they're trying to be trendy, but it's not gonna last. That money is not gonna last. That these folks like to see you that way because it's cool and it's fun, but you're not making anything that's gonna last you. And when the time comes, they're gonna stop playing your music. They're gonna stop celebrating what you do. And then what are you going to have? You know, are you going to have a house? Are you going to, those cars, those people are not going to be around you anymore. So I just find that interesting because people will try so hard to be trendy.
Can I just,
What?
real fast, I just want to acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, the lyrical mastery.
Of J. Cole?
No, of you. You just broke the lyrics out, you know what I'm saying?
I love J. Cole.
Obviously.
J. Cole, I'm a fan.
Holla at your girl.
Because I think that's something you see in the music industry too.
Yeah.
People try so hard to be trendy,
Yeah.
and then they come and they go.
Yeah.
But there are only a few legends. There are only a few that are, they don't even have to speak on their talent because they built something worth all their energy.
Yeah, I mean, good lady. I mean, listen, that ain't nothing but the truth, and I think that couples well with the point that we're trying to make overall.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, stay human. You know what I mean? Like you want to listen. You're a human being. You are on the earth for a limited amount of time. All of us are. All of us have an expiration date.
Yeah.
All of us are gonna die and leave this world, and then somebody else is gonna take our spot on the earth. I tell my family that all the time. You know what I mean? Like the home that we have now, someone used to live there. They passed away, and then their children sold the house, and we bought it. You know what I mean? Like when we moved in, their stuff was still there. You know what I mean? And like I used to think about that. Like they used to occupy this space in these rooms, and they're gone now. And now we live here. You know what I mean? Like we up in this spot. You know what I mean? And then eventually we're gonna be gone. And I thought about in a macro sense, the place that you occupy on the earth, literally, like it's space for all of us to be able to move around, dude. But then at some point, the space that you occupy, you're gonna vacate, and somebody else is gonna be born and take that spot on the earth and move about. You see what I'm saying? So your time is limited. You know what I mean? And it's so important that you understand that and accept that. And the sooner that you can understand and accept that, like the sooner that you can actually have value in your life. Not necessarily for anybody else, but for you. You know what I mean? I do this thing on We Hate Your Internet on Instagram. If you're not following, make sure you follow. Every day I post a quote. Just something I be musing about. You know what I mean? And on one of them, I said, you may be forgotten in the annals of history, you know, the annals of time. You know what I mean? Like, as you live and time passes, like you will be forgotten. It's natural. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you get to, but at the end of your life, now I'm paraphrasing. I was much more eloquent when I put it on post. You know, so go back and check it out. You'll see it's proof. but like, you want when you come to the end of your life, you get to decide how you remember your own story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you want to look back at your own life, at your own story, and be like, man, I'm proud of this story that we put together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you have direct power over getting to choose how you live your life. You know what I mean? Like, now you don't get to control every detail of your life, but you get to control how some adversity that you have to face or to overcome. You don't get to pick that, but you get to choose how you face it. You know what I'm saying? Like, You get to choose whether you're gonna have good days or bad days, or how you wanna process your days. You get to choose. You get to choose your ambitions and what you want to pursue or not, or whatever. Like, you get to choose all those things. You know what I mean? Whatever, however much time that you're allotted on the earth, you get to choose what you do with that time. That's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. And so if you're spending all that time in vanity and emptiness, or just to be trendy, and that's not even the true substance of who you are. Yeah, man, then you wasting it, man. And it's a really sad commentary when you get to the end of your life, and once like your gig is up and your time, your 2 seconds in the sun is over, you know what I mean? And you look back, is that something you're gonna be proud of? You know what I mean? Is that something that you know, for all these artists that have come out and they're, you know, being utilized by the industry, and then they discard it. When you look back, I hope that they say, man, I'm proud of the work that I put in. I'm proud of my catalog. That's what J. Cole is saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, if nothing else, I'm going to say this. I put out an album. I put out an album a couple of years ago. This is not a plug, but go check that out. It's 2UD, Music for the Good Man. Streaming everywhere. No, but seriously, though. You know, amateur album. I put it together myself, but I'm not going to sell myself too short. It was pretty daggone good. I got to give it a couple of tracks on that joint. It was pretty good. We were at the house the other day. We try to spend some time every day, you know what I mean, with the people. Turn the TV out, just listen to music, just kind of kick it, you know what I mean? We had this little LED light that plays according to the music or whatever. And then one of my songs came on, because, you know, I gotta support my own music.
Of course.
It come on, and I hadn't heard it in a while. And I'm listening to it, and like my kids are fans. They really love the song, you know what I mean? A couple of them especially, they really like. And my wife was like, I'm a 2UD fan. I say, well, you gotta live with that. You gotta live with that, fool. So you gotta say that. She's like, no, you know, if I didn't like it, I would tell you. And she is right. If she did not like it, she would tell. Yeah. And so anyway, no, but I listened to it and I was like, man, that's really nice, man. I really enjoy that song, and I really enjoyed that process. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It don't matter if people never find it. Like, for the people that know about it, they were like, man, that's good. And beyond even all of that, for me, I'm proud of the songs, man. Like, I wrote them with meaning. Like, so every song means something to me when I wrote it. You know what I mean? Put it together and hired a band. Like, it was like a really process, it was a long process, but it was a free, authentic process that I look back at fondly, and in my life I'll be like, I did that. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we're talking about. Taking your time and your energy and doing something with it that's constructive. Our time is flowing quite a bit. The last point, and we're gonna start putting a bow on this thing. Just how addictive it can be, trying to keep up with this stuff too. And that's another thing. Like, it goes right back to the exhaustion of it all. You get caught up and addicted, just keep scrolling and keep digging deeper and deeper into these rabbit holes. And like, even if you want to put the phone down, you can't.
Yeah.
And you're looking for the next thing to next dopamine hit to entertain you. And it's just like, man, like, you know, and you wonder why you feel so exhausted all the time. People be like, man, I'm just tired. Like, you are draining your battery with this stuff, this vanity. You know what I mean? It's not good. I think we can start kind of land there. I just want to leave everybody with a simple thought, like we always do. That you just be mindful. Like I said, it's not a sin for you to go and look at the latest news and foolishness that's out there.
And it's gonna come up. Like, it's unavoidable, really.
Yeah, because that's one way that people are connected, depending on demographics and everything, but people are connected through social media and the news that's circulating. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you have to be very mindful that how much energy that you and time you invest into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, because it's much more important for you to invest in the development of your own life. I wrote this in the notes, and I was saying, make sure I'm going to say it right, so that your life can be trending upward. That's our show for today. Live with it. Oh, so eloquent quote. It can't get no better than that. Wrap this thing up, man. We out of here.